81 Test veteran of the All Blacks. He works for Sky Sport, of course. He's the best analyst of this game in this country. Justin Marshall joins us again. Marshall, welcome back.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, nice to be back. Wow, what an opening round of Super Rugby. Entertaining.
Yeah, look, first thing I'd written down was cracking game, Chiefs Crusaders Friday night, and it really was. I mean, I'll talk about the smart mouthguards. Obviously, that's a big topic of conversation, but just in terms of the rugby, I thought it was high quality.
Yeah, so did I. And, usually you get a little bit of, I guess, a lethargic start from the players and some errors that this first season hit-out type games, and the intensity goes up from the pre-season. But this game delivered on all departments. It was physical, it was fast, there was obviously drama involved in it as well, and it was just of the highest quality, which was really good to see that we could get a product like that in the first round. And the game could have gone either way, to be honest, and an awesome crowd as well. So, yeah, what a blockbuster game to start off Super Rugby on Friday night.
Crusaders scrum. It said to me, Justin, I mean, obviously here's me talking about scrums, but it said to me that with Owen Franks on board, that if they can get the dropsies fixed up and just some midfield problems and stuff like that, that the platform was actually there for them. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. And, we spoke last week, and I said to you I was unsure about this Crusaders side and how they were going to adapt to a new coach and missing personnel, and the jury is out a bit for me. Well, I was really refreshed by what I saw at the weekend. On Friday night, I thought that they took a little bit of time to find their rhythm, and Rayhana grew into the game and then started to show the quality of why he was selected. And then, like you said, Rob Penny, with his astute coaching, realised that the game was gravitating in the wrong direction for them, and it needs to tighten it up a bit. And he made some substitutes, some changes. They put the squeeze on, and they put the squeeze on that, I guess, relatively inexperienced part 5 of the Chiefs compared to them, and they just started to flex their muscles and change the dynamic of the way the game was flowing, and it was really impressive to see them do that. Yes, they didn't win, but there was enough good moments in that game and good signs of maturity to show that they're still going to be a side that should be there or thereabouts come finals time.
The only thing, if I have to put, and I've always got to put a spanner in the wheel, don't I? But the only thing is I just wanted to see all of our best players playing. And, Justin, I got a list of names. There's 7 guys playing in Japan at the moment who all played the Rugby World Cup final, who've all been playing in Japan for weeks and playing 80 minutes. And it's bloody frustrating as a fan of this game that our guys are still getting limited minutes and managed game time and all of this kind of stuff. Get them on the bloody field and let them play.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And I just feel that when we've got a product that, people are debating about where it's going to go, and, where we're going to get that excitement back, what you need in that product is the best players turning out each week, world-class players, internationals, bringing their skill set to every weekend. And that's what people want to tune in to see. So I'm absolutely on that page. And I get it to a degree, what the All Blacks are trying to do and how controlling they are in the New Zealand Rugby Union in their policies and what they feel is best for the players. But sometimes it just doesn't make sense, like common sense.
No.
Now let's think of Ethan Blackadder. Yes, he's got a slight calf issue at the moment, but regardless of him having that or not, he's on mandatory rest. Mate, he played 1 game for Tasman, and then he got over to the Rugby World Cup, where I think he played only 1 game over there, and yet they put him on All Black rest.
Same. Yeah, so
now,
look, I'd the name Roy. Yeah, I'd Roygard written down, who in the end didn't play the last 3 or 4 weeks at the World Cup. Play the guy every bloody week. That's what he wants to do. He needs more game time. Just because he's an All Black, he's an inexperienced All Black. So let him play.
If you bumped into either one of those guys, either at the supermarket or the pub, whichever one takes your fancy, I guarantee you, and you asked them, you said to them, are you happy to be on rest, or would you rather be out there with the boots on? I bet I know the answer to that, and all of you out there listening probably do as well. They'll be saying, get me my boots on and get me out there.
Yeah, get on, sit of the bloody train, I want to play. You went down to the Highlanders versus MP. I rated that as my second best game of the weekend. Look, I didn't watch everything. I tried to watch highlights of most, but I thought that was another cracking game. MP up at half-time, then the Highlanders scored the try of the weekend to actually win that game, and you were there in Dunedin for it.
Yeah, I was, and I was very unsure of how Moana Pasifika were going to cope this year, and ultimately more presently in that game. And I certainly felt that they are a side that have made some significant changes in the right areas. And Their skill set looks to have improved, particularly I think I said it in commentary with their short passing game under the guidance of Stephen Jones, who was an incredibly skillful player. But more importantly, their front five have been shored up, and their scrum was good and solid for the majority of the game. Their line-out was faultless. They didn't concede a try to a rolling maul, and the Highlanders had 2 or 3 real digs at them, and they were doing that with regularity last year. So really good to see them front. The Highlanders have got some genuine excitement machines now in their back four. From Telea out, Ratamaitavuki Neatkins was a hell of a signing in the off-season, and here's a guy that just hasn't seen enough rugby that's finally going to look like he's going to get a regular spot in a jersey and show how good he is. So they're going to be a very difficult outfit all year, and again, I think reinforcing their pre-season form that they're a better squad. So really good game on Saturday night. I agree with you. It was probably the second best game of the round.
Justin Marshall is with us. We're talking Super Rugby. We'll rip into the Six Nations, Chris Jones shortly. And Ireland, the new old All Blacks, the best team in the world between World Cups. Not a tag that you want. All right, the Blues. How good were they against the Drua?
Yeah, they were very good. They did what they needed to do. Look, the Drua are always a difficult prospect, and particularly when you play them up north, where the climate is very similar to what they like to play in Fiji. Sun on their backs, dry football. Sun, yes, in the afternoon as well, pretty much. So, they were going to be in a good environment. But I thought the Blues, once they got their method right, they showed their skills. They've got players that can open up the game all across the park, and then they have guys like Dalton Papali'i scoring tries on the wing, when he's standing out there just waiting for the ball to get into his lap. So they're showing that they're a good side. Don't look like they've suffered too much from, coaching exodus. Leon's been in charge of them for the last couple of years, but they certainly look like an outfit that, reinforce again what everybody's saying. They are probably that team to beat. They've got really good balance in their tight five, good loosies, good halves. I thought Christie was excellent. Peter Feta is just reinforcing that he's a quality player. And then you look from midfield out, they've just got firepower across the park. So never an easy game against Drua, and they won comfortably. They'll be happy with that.
Look at the table right now, Aussie. Freeze it, because it won't be like this at the end of the season. You've got 2 Aussie teams in the top 4. I know we've only played one round, the Brumbies and the Reds. They both had wins that look great on the scoreboard. The Brumbies beaten up on the Rebels, and the Reds put 40 points, conceded 22 against the Waratahs. I don't know how much of these games... what impressed you about those 2 teams if you did watch those games?
Yeah, I did watch the games. The Brumbies game, I was pretty much done with by 30 minutes, and they were just a different level.
Different level.
And I think, again, they're just reinforcing they're going to be the toughest side, I think, out of those Australian sides to beat. The ding-dong battle is obviously the derby between the Reds and the Waratahs, and the Reds look like they've got a much better balanced squad this year. They got some genuine good players in the back line, the Vunivalus and Paisami and co and all of that. They've got capability, but their Achilles heel has always really been their pack. Their pack looks a lot better. The Lucies look good. They would have matured and learnt a lot. The Waratahs will be tenacious again all year. So, yeah, look, I think there's threat there, but the litmus test for them will be this weekend when they actually, a few of them front up to New Zealand teams, and we'll get a real indication of how physical they are and how tough mentally they are and whether or not they can compete. And obviously the Force got annihilated by the Hurricanes. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough old ask again, I think, but there's still enough capability there to show that they can be competitive. You've just got to turn that competitiveness into winning. That's their key mental hurdle they have to get over, those Aussie sides, over the New Zealand sides in particular.
The other thing is, for every other New Zealand fan that is just sick and tired of your red and black just giving it to us up the chutney every year, look at the points table right now. They're in 7th, mate. And I'm loving it. It'll be the only week that they're that low, the Crusaders. All right, back to Scott Barrett we go, mate. Here we go. 26 seconds of frustration here, Justin.
Honestly, I think it's probably a step too far from a player. When you're getting dragged and you're looking around what actually happened, I think it's obviously, we want player welfare and that's paramount, but I think if you're influencing the game when key players are going off and they don't know what for, I think that can be frustrating for a player. So I think, it needs to happy medium somewhere within it.
The only thing that Scooter didn't mention there was frustrating also for the spectator, because as a spectator, you deserve better. And when I saw the look on Anton Leonard-Brown's face, you saw it as well, Justin. It's like, what the hell? Look, they're obviously not quite there yet, this technology, is it?
No, it's not. And I think, you could see not only by both players' reactions, Quinton Stranger was the same. He was really unsure at what was happening because he didn't feel that there was any head contact or any reason for him to have an HIA, and obviously everybody saw Anton Leonard-Brown as well. So, look, technology, when it comes in, it's always tedious. It always has its teething problems. There's no exception, obviously, to this mouthguard technology, because we've seen it in round one where we've had 2 players leave the field when they felt they were perfectly fine and didn't suffer any head contact. The thing with this technology is, and I tried to explain it, from my perspective, when I played, I always wore a mouthguard right from when I was young all the way through Super Rugby and the All Blacks. It was part of my kit. But I did that because when I took heavy contact and I took a shot from someone like Jerry Collins in the ribs, or anywhere that wasn't high, I always clenched my teeth because it's a natural impulse for your whole body to just go, oh, man, that hurt.
Yeah.
But you've not been hit anywhere near the neck or head region. You've just been hit hard, and it makes your natural instinct is to tense everything up, including biting down on your gum shield. So they've got to look at that, because I think this is possibly what's happened to those 2 players. They've been hit decently, nowhere near the head region, but they've clenched down on their mouth guards, which is registered. And obviously the technology doesn't allow you to see where that contact has been. It just shows a big clenching of the jaw. So they're going to have to find a way to make that work. I understand the safety of the players. And I guess the other thing I'll throw into the pot is I thought we kind of had it under control. I thought we were doing a really good job with that independent assessor, and he was getting them off when he saw head knocks, and everybody was being looked after properly. Now we've brought something else in just to confuse the whole situation.
Justin, thank you so much for that, mate. We'll be back next Monday with you, Justin Marshall, as expert analysis and assessment of Super Rugby Round 1.